Hi, I'm Ray or Ray Ray, and today I want to talk about Hytale. There's a lot of Hytale news that has come out over the past few days, and I'd like to basically just catch up. I want to react and discuss to new snapshots and details that we've gotten about Hytale. So let's start. This isn't a new picture, but we got this cool little like boss enemy guy. Looks very cool. It looks very cool, but also I believe it isn't quite done yet. Yeah, it doesn't have a spawner purpose yet. It is a late game boss fight, but like things like this will exist in the game at some point, and that is just really cool to see. Like, if this is a boss at some point, you're gonna get to fight something like this. Like, it's gonna feel very I'm just so curious what that's gonna be like. What is a boss fight gonna feel like in a game like Hytale? Because I only really have experience with like boss fights in like Elden Ring or in like any of the From Software games, and maybe a bit of like Fortnite, like some boss fights in Fortnite that usually aren't that crazy. But I'm very curious to see what this stuff is going to be like. Also, we have this burned skeleton looking guy, which looks really awesome. This is from Zone 4. I'm not entirely sure what the zones are gonna look like. I know we've had this big screenshot. Actually, I will find that real quick. It is this screenshot right here that we've gotten a long time ago. This is a very long time ago that we got this screenshot, but it still seems like this is what it is. We have a like a grassy area, a desert area, a more frozen over area, and a more lava or like, much more unnatural area with this heat and the weird funky underground areas. Like, this is where the Jurassic area is gonna be. Like, we've seen screenshots of like a little this is like a whole ass dinosaur, and I think this is the kind of creature we'd find in the caves of Zone 4. But once again, very cool looking skeleton guy. I'm very excited to see what this becomes in the future. But one of the most important things we've seen, like, this is we have launcher progress. So like when we get Hytale on our computer, this is one of the first things we're gonna see. We're gonna see a Hytale launcher, which is crazy to even think about. And then this is what the download would look like. I don't think I've actually watched this. I want to look at this real quick. Yeah, I mean, first of all, I doubt the game's gonna be 54 megabytes. But anyway, this is a like test version of what Hytale's launcher would look like. I'm assuming it shows your little profile name and everything like that. And this just looks nice, bro. This is like what we get when we first play Hytale, which is gonna be crazy. I'm so excited to see that on my screen at some point in the future. Seeing a Hytale launcher on my computer after the years and years of following this project. Here we have from the Hytale Twitter account, we have this Zone 4 preview, I'm assuming, and this looks like a very heavy like bamboo forest. Very interesting. I look at these colors and weirdly I think of the sniffer from Minecraft. Very like particular colors. But anyway, let's see. Whoa. Oh, and you can see the quality of this video is like the worst I've literally ever seen in my whole life. But in the background here, this little light is the dinosaur looking thing, and I just realized the little light on its head is kind of like an anglerfish, like, and that kind of gives that like predator feeling, like luring you in type energy, which is actually very cool now that I think about it. But let's see. Okay. Wow. Just walking through, you can hear the beasts, the bamboo. Turn off the light. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Trying in vain to leave. Will they jump? Okay, they got stuck. Okay, so they can't jump. Interesting. Wow, but I'm assuming that's something that could happen in the future. Enemies like this could probably jump over a gap like that. And if it isn't part of the game itself, it's probably something that's going to be modded in easily. Very interesting. So this is less of like a, oh, here's the mechanics, and it's more of like, oh, here's an aesthetic. Right, this is Zone 4, and I'm assuming this area is underground because the above area is like lava. So I'm assuming this is somewhere underground, and there's this dense jungly vibe with the bamboo and the creatures of the night. very cool aesthetic. Like, I just like seeing all the vibes, bro. It very cool. I think that's awesome. I think that's really cool. Well, let's move on. Let's see, what else do we got. We have, can you ride the raptors? Yes. And this is a another clip on the official Hytale Twitter, and it's basically just saying, due to like people like asking about it, they're saying modders can make things rideable by easily changing the config or the configuration in our asset editor, which they've talked about the asset editor. Basically, you can go through all of the game's assets and just change whatever you want. And literally, it shows you all of the parameters and everything in a nice little GUI thing that you can go in and edit all the colors, all the things, all the interactions and stuff like that. So it seems like very easily you can just be like, oh, this entity I like and I would like to be able to ride. Okay, I'll go in there and do that. But anyway, let's take a look at it real quick. I have seen this. Just go up to it and right click, and then you can ride it. And look at that, dude. That looks cool. There's a horse. Is that the first time we've seen a horse? There's a boar. Wow. I mean, this just looks crazy. Yeah, so that's cool. So that's something that's just gonna be in the game. It's just like, hey, I don't have this functionality and I want it. So anybody's gonna be like, okay, I can go to the asset editor and see if I can do that for myself, which is really cool. It's something that makes Hytale so interesting. And obviously Hytale is gonna be released in such a undeveloped state. Stuff like this is gonna be kind of common. You know, if you're gonna be an early player of Hytale, you're gonna want to be doing certain things like this. And I believe at some point, I don't remember the exact post or where to look for it, but they were saying that at some point there's gonna be like community contests or community made mods that are going to end up in Hytale itself, which is going to be super interesting to see. So the community can actually contribute to the game itself in the game itself, which is something that is unbelievable to even think about. Like, oh yeah, I'm just going to make a mod that is so essential to the way this game feels and is so like on the mark that the game devs of this game are just going to add it. Like, imagine that. That's crazy. The only thing I've imagined something like that happening in forever. I may be wrong on this history, but in Geometry Dash there is a level called Wave, and it's like a UFO, and you get to like mess with your little UFO, and it creates like a very like diagonal movement. And the level was called Wave, and then at some point the creator of Geometry Dash saw that level or was inspired by the level and then created a game mode that moved exactly how that level played out, which is just like, that's crazy that somebody can make a thing in a game that allows them to make stuff, and then the creator of the game is like, I actually really like that, and then adds it. So it seems like we're gonna have energy like that in Hytale, which is very exciting. I can't, the parallels between this game and Geometry Dash are kind of nice. The things that make Geometry Dash exist for as long as it has, and it went through a 7-year drought of development and still was kind of thriving, is just because the amount of creative like control the player base has over the game itself. So I think even without like updates from Hytale, this game could still have a lot of intrigue and a lot of player base because people can just do whatever they want in the systems that is provided, which is super exciting. And I think that's gonna be what like Hytale is just modders and the community being able to do whatever they want, and I think that's going to be super exciting. Oh, so we have this other screenshot right here. This is a screenshot of what does it say? It's from Zone 3. It's a sinister ritual. Have we seen these characters? I don't believe we've seen these characters in the gameplay footage, but there's these little goopsters here. We have some sort of mage, we have some sort of like staff users, some dagger users, and this big boss enemy, which is similar to the boss enemy that we saw in the first trailer of the game ever. I believe it is that big boss that we've seen, and it's just like, imagine like wandering the world and then stumbling upon a little like area like this. Like you enter, and then there's all these NPCs kind of doing their own little thing and organizing themselves in their own little ways. Like, I feel like that's such a unique thing to see, right? And I feel like that's gonna be so exciting. It's to like see a big building, right? Like if you were to find a building in like a modded Minecraft server or a modded Minecraft world, you see this new building and you enter it, usually it's just going to be this big building, and like there has to be like spawners or whatever to get like enemies in there, or enemies will naturally spawn around the area, but they won't be doing anything super interesting. I feel like the thing with NPCs in like a game like Minecraft, or in Minecraft specifically, they're kind of all just in patrol mode. Like every enemy in the game is kind of just in a patrol mode where they're just in the area that they are, and they have their own unique way of detecting a player, but they're kind of just there and just like waiting and moving, you know, somewhat naturally. And then like when the player's near them, then it's like, okay, here's my way of attacking. Right? That's kind of how Minecraft's NPCs work. But imagine entering a place like this and having a whole set of NPCs and having them all interact and patrol differently, you know? Like, you're not gonna just enter a room like this and there's like 1 or 2 mobs that are just there randomly. You're gonna enter a room like this and then there's a whole corral of people, a whole corral of NPCs and enemies to fight. You have to like think about, oh, there's this group of enemies. I can't just go in there because I know there's all of these different attack patterns and different attack styles of all these guys. I have to find a way to hit them one at a time, or to section them off into 1v1 fights or stuff like that, right? And I think that's very exciting, like to see wander around a map and then see a new structure and then have to actually deal with an organized group of enemies. I think that's going to be very, very interesting and very exciting to see. And now we have a new snapshot, less about like enemies, NPCs, and everything. This is more about building, I would say. Like, this is something that, I mean, maybe there's like a prefab structure or whatever you want to call it. Like, this could be a spawned in location, or this could be built by a player, right? And this kind of aesthetic little cozy place, like you're in this house, there's all these little interior details, right? We get a nice glimpse of the capabilities of the building in this game. What can you have and where can you put things? Like, we have like whatever, like I don't know if this is a loaf of bread or a pie or something. I'm assuming it's a pie sitting on the windowsill. That's kind of like an iconic cartoony type thing, or not even cartoony, it's just like a iconic thing to put pie on a windowsill. But anyway, we got pie, we got like what looks like a piece of bread, we got a salad bowl, we've got some pots, we got books and stuff and containers. Like, it seems like the interiors in this game are going to absolutely cook, and you're going to be able to do whatever you want with these interiors, because it looks so, like, you have a lot of creative control in these areas. You know, like there's a whole, like, what do you call this? It's like a chandelier, right? This is a whole chandelier. I'm sure there's a specific name for this kind, but like, it's such an interesting detail, and I don't know. I really like the way the details of this little humble abode looks like. Like, it's very nice. I love the bamboo and the thatching, the little chairs. It looks very cool. And this is a good glimpse into the interiors of buildings, but also through that window, we get to see the potential of structures and building structures by themselves. Usually in Minecraft, I'm not too much of a builder myself, but I rarely build interiors. You know, I usually just build like a cool building or terraforming like thing where it like looks nice from a perspective outside, and you see it and it's like, wow, that looks cool. But this kind of makes making an interior look like appetizing, right? Like, because this looks so cozy. And I think that's very cool. A lot of detail that you can throw around in here. I like that image. That's a very cool image. And then what is this? This is from 6:20 a.m. today. Our little block game is starting to feel RPG with a look emoji. That is so exciting, bro. As a Hypixel Skyblock player, and also speaking of Hypixel Skyblock, I am planning on streaming Hypixel Skyblock until Hytale comes out. I probably won't be doing it like every day, but I'm gonna do it fairly often. I would like to create a new profile and just actually stream it and create content on Skyblock, because I've played that game for over like 500 hours plus and I would actually like to make stuff off of it. Even though I know so much, I haven't played in like a year or two, because I don't know, there was a drought of updates and I didn't really know what I was doing and wanting to do, so I kind of just lost touch with the game. But now that Hytale is reinvigorating me for this game, I kind of want to go back to Skyblock because it's such an interesting thing. And seeing this, our little block game is starting to feel like an RPG, makes me think of Skyblock. And I know they can cook when it comes to an RPG feeling game because Skyblock is awesome. I love the way Skyblock plays, and I love the systems all involved. Sure, it's not perfect. No, it's not perfect, but it's amazing nonetheless. And this looks cool. So what I'm assuming is there's like swords, and you can find a way to level up your sword design and get new sword abilities, or maybe the abilities are tied to each weapon. So like the swords have like a normal attack pattern and then have their own specific abilities, and then all the other ones have their own specific abilities. But I'm wondering if each rarity maybe has like an evolution of the ability, or if it's just the same thing and that's what keeps it, you know, its own identity. It's like all the swords have that ability, but this is the way to level up the damage and effectiveness, which I'm assuming probably is the case. But this is very cool to look at, seeing that it's not like, oh, you have to go and mine for a resource to level up your weapon. You actually have to go around and yes, you have to mine for resources. It says mithril ingot, right? You need a mithril ingot to level up your weapon, but also you need storm leather, which seems like something you'd have to get from an enemy or an NPC, or maybe even something you could craft, but not from mining. It's from a different area of the game, different function of the game. And we have a void heart, which seems very specifically like an enemy would drop that, and that's kind of exciting because that means if you want to level up your weapon, you have to use your current weapon to kill something to get the resource to level up your weapon, which will allow you to kill another big thing to get another new resource along with other resources to make the better version of that sword. That is very exciting, and that is an RPG classic. That is awesome. I love to see that, and I can't wait to know what the exploration mode of this game is gonna feel like, because that's awesome. If it's gonna be like, oh, you get a weapon, you get to choose your class via your weapon, and then you get to choose the path of upgrading based on, you know, which weapon you chose, and that's like, it's gonna lead you to different parts of the game by choosing different weapons to upgrade and different enemies to fight because of it. And I think that's super exciting. That gives you that, I feel like I can already feel the versatility of the combat just through something as simple as this, because I just know, oh, I get a weapon, I get to fight new things and enemies to level up weapon. It leads me to different places. I love whenever a game's core upgrade system is what incentivizes you to explore, because I feel like there's sometimes where games, you can just like do one specific thing and then come out of it with like really good gear that like de-incentivizes you to ever go to other places, because there isn't really like a reason to, now that you're already leveled up so high. You can go to like the max area or whatever, right? So this kind of seems like it's like, oh, hey, boom, 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 go here, that, do that, boom, bow. And I think that's pretty exciting. And we got what I think is just another screenshot. Yeah, so this is another screenshot. This is from the Hytale Twitter once again. The boggy and waterlogged habitat is home to many fauna, some nicer than others. So this looks very nice. This is, ooh, this looks so cool. Oh, I didn't even notice there's a little structure in the background. It's a big old tree house. Is that a Quebec? That might be a Quebec back there, bro. This might be a glimpse into the Quebec goobsters. But here we have a little snake, the obvious, right? And this is kind of like a marsh area. I like the little water sausages, the snake, the very thick trees with roots, and the bushy leaves and hanging vine looking things, as well as root looking things. Very, very cool. The mushrooms, and this seems like a mushroom growth on the tree, like it's here as well. Maybe it's like a moss growth rather than a mushroom, but very, very cool looking. And I think what's particularly interesting here is the values or variety of green, right? Because this is a very green image. There's so much green here, but it changes the values of green. Like this green is not the same as this green, or actually they're very similar, right? They're very similar, but these two greens do not really look the same as these. These are much darker, more cool toned, while these are much brighter, more warm toned, which is very interesting to me, and very color theory good. But I really like this. Are those little fangs you get to see on the snake right there? I think they are fangs. Yeah, but this looks very cool. I'm gonna like this. That's very cool. One of the things I've said so many times, I've seen images or gameplay of this game, and the aesthetics are peak, bro. Like, I feel like this game is gonna look so, it's gonna feel so immersive, bro. If you play this game in first person, like, I feel like you can get sucked away into this game. And I love to think that that's gonna be the truth, you know? And I think it is, because I've seen some of like the snowy area. I believe this is probably zone 1, considering it's more natural. There's no snow, there's no desert, there's no magma stuff. This is probably zone 1, and it looks so cozy, bro. It looks so cozy. I'm so excited to build some crazy stuff in this game once the game is fully out. But let's look back at the Discord, see what else do we got. Okay, so we finished the showcase on the Discord. This is the whole showcase. This is like 8 posts, maybe less. But now let's check the announcements. Here's some big stuff. Obviously, this is the old stuff. We have the Hytale is Saved blog, which I don't need to check out. Most people have already seen it. We had these 2 images. We have these new images, which I haven't really gotten much of a glimpse of. This seems like zone 1. We got a little Quebec posed up. We got a nice little leaf staff. I don't know how effective a leaf as a blade is really gonna be. Like, the blunt end of this stick probably is more effective than a leaf. Obviously, it's probably like a specific leaf. Maybe this leaf is somehow harder than its branch, or maybe it's a different tree. Like, I don't know. I'm curious of the implications of this leaf being the blade itself. But yeah, we get this little platform. Like, these kind of things are hard to do in Minecraft, right? This kind of like detailing is so, it makes it feel much more interesting, because it could just be a little platform, right? But we have the logs, we have these little log butts or ends, we have this lamp with the firefly in it, which is so interesting, and we have this little platform that isn't like, I guess in Minecraft the alternative would be like a trapdoor, right? But this looks very structural, you know. This looks like an actual platform rather than like a substitute for a platform like in Minecraft. Like, I think that's something that's going to be interesting coming into Hytale, is there's probably going to be so many blocks, which is going to be annoying probably. I can imagine there's going to be annoying that there's so many blocks, but it's going to give you so much variety in choice in how you present your builds and how you want to show people whatever it is you're building. And like, it'll give you more ways to make whatever you're building believable, right? Using a bridge or platform like this is much more realistic and gives much more character to each little build. And there's not too much else to say other than like, hey, he's got a little hat. Quebecs are kind of cute. I don't like that this looks like it has one big toenail. Like, their feet is just one big toe. I do not like that, but anyway. What do we got here? We got its content creation tools, which I've looked at this page. This page is really cool. The creation tools tab, the asset editor, the model editor, world gen, world tools, builder tools, machinima, and a help tab. Like, this just looks crazy to me. I can't believe this is just gonna be in the game. Like, this is like all of the mods of Minecraft, like the essential mods that a lot of builders use and modders use to make stuff in the game, just being in the game. I can't iterate how much, or I can't illustrate how much that is gonna be impactful on the way this game is played and interacted with and the community around it. I think it's gonna be a game full of creatives. Creatives are going to be so pulled to this game purely because of the amount of liberty they have to do whatever they want with all of the game's assets and everything, and being able to add whatever they want as easily and like streamlined as possible. This game is going to be crazy. This game's going to be crazy, and I'm still so excited about it. I just know within like the next 5 years of this game being out, it is going to be in an amazing place. It's going to be an amazing place. And this is the 16-minute footage that I did react to like last week. Very excited about seeing this. I watched this and I was just like over the moon, bro. I was so excited. But we still don't know the release date for the game, but if I'm about to show it, I do want to look over this. I'll probably read this and give like a little rundown, but this is what I'm talking about right here. Hytale, the base game version, will be $20. $20. That is, I believe, the same price as Minecraft. If not, I don't know, but that is a very cheap price for a game like this. And obviously it's not even going to be in a finished state, so it's going to be like you know, it's maybe you might be paying a little too much. I don't know. I don't want to argue about the price. I think $20 is fine. I think it's perfect. I will be buying this game immediately, and I do want to pre-order the game. I don't know when we'll be able to pre-order the game. It seems like this page is not quite out. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, we finally know the price. $20. And there's 3 different versions, or 3 editions, right? You can have the standard base edition, which will have everything that the other 2 versions will have in terms of content for the game. There's going to be no paywalls in the game for content. Like if you want to use the asset like editor or any other function of the game, it's going to be in the standard version, right? Buying the supporter version isn't going to give you any new access to new things. It is just going to give you cosmetics, I believe. It's going to give you new costume designs for your little characters, and I believe that's the main difference between supporter and curse breaker as well. Is just gonna be the amount of like cosmetic stuff and memorabilia that you'll probably get by buying this version or that version, and that's very exciting, and I think that's very cool. And if you're just a normal person who wants to play the game, you know, $20, that's all you need to invest in this game, you know, and I think that's super exciting. And then also, I've been looking at a lot of this stuff on Discord, and dude, this Discord has been popping off, bro. There are so many people. There's the 15 Hypixel Studios goobers in the Discord, and as well as some others. And then look how many people are online. There's 43,000 people online in here, bro. And that's I can't even look how many people are offline because it would take too long. Like genuinely, unless I can minimize. And I can't minimize. I can't even go to the next one. It's just like like there's so many people. Super exciting. They just reached 160,000 members in the Hytale server, which is super duper exciting. A lot of people are hyped for this game. A lot of people are aware that this game's coming out, which is awesome. Oh, and then obviously if you're part of the Hytale community and people are being not so cool, you know, any bigotry or anything like that happening in the community, please do report it to people, or at least call them out if that's all you can do, and make sure that people in the community are safe. Inevitably this game is going to have a lot of a younger audience because of the nature of the game. It's similar to Minecraft is a lower age bracket game. So there's going to be a lot of younger people. So if you are an older person or an adult or whatever, and you have the power to alter situations of any negative kind, and you want to do good, just keep an eye out, because there's going to be some bad actors, you know, and I'd hate to see anything negative happen in such a good community. Okay, but anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you've watched this far into the video, I mean, you're a real one. You're crazy. But I've been Ray Ray, and if you like this video, subscribe. I will try and make more Hytale reaction and discussion stuff to the news that's going to be coming out in the near future, as well as the blog posts and whatnot. But also in the meantime, since we don't have the game, I will be playing some Hypixel Skyblock, so if you're interested in seeing that, subscribe, leave some comments, and I will be reading pretty much all of them. I don't get many, so but yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye.